today's video, we're going to be changing the daytime running lights on the Lexus from halogen to LED, as well as changing the xenon bulb in the Lexus. So before we start, you may be wondering why bother changing from halogen to LED, and I think for two main reasons. One, it just makes the car look a bit more modern. As you can see, the white light just looks a lot more modern than halogen when it's sort of yellow. And not only that, but LEDs, obviously, they are much more reliable. As you can see here, we've got our LEDs next to our halogen. So we're going to be going from this to this. And basically that's going to make it look more modern, and hopefully you need to be changed less often. Saying that, I've never had these really blow before. They tend to last quite a long time, but I think just as a, just to refresh the Lexus a little bit, LEDs do help with that. On top of that, we've got our xenon light, which we're going to be changing, which is a fairly straightforward job. But what I'll do is, as I've got this example here, we can use this to show you exactly what you need to do when you're changing both these bulbs, because it can get a bit fiddly in there and it's not super easy to show on camera exactly the way these things go in, because it is a bit fiddly. First thing we're going to do is get our 10mm, and for safety, just disconnect the battery. There we go. Tuck that there, nice and good. Now, to take off these, be that. Right, so now we have access. With this, obviously it is a bit annoying to change the bulb in here. Really, this airbox is going to have to move. So that's what we will do. They just fall into the okey-doke. There we go, just needed some persuasion. Right, now before we go into taking apart that, I thought I'd use this opportunity while I've got this spare headlight to kind of show you exactly what you've got to do when you're changing the headlight and the daytime running light. As you can see, so here's our xenon, and when it focuses, basically what you can see is it's got these tabs at the bottom and also these cutouts, which essentially you have to line up when you're putting it in. Now it's a bit difficult to show on the car, but with this it makes it a lot easier. Now it's out of the car. And also what we will do, show you how to change out these two from this to this. So now when your headlight's in the car and you're fiddling around on the inside, you basically got presented on the back with this. So on the furthest to the edge is your headlight, which is behind this door, and your daytime running light and your high beams is behind this door. So what we'll do is replace the xenon first. Just unclip that, take that off, and then you've got your plug. Now, clockwise locks it, anti-clockwise unlocks it. So we just twist it anti-clockwise and take that out. What we do is undo these clips here, which just hold the xenon in, open that out, and then it should basically come out pretty easily. So this is the old one. We'll just pop this to the side. This is our new one, and as you can see, there are these two notches. So you've got a big notch here, little notch here. These line up in here. So as you can see, the big notch which is just here, the little notch which is just there, and that corresponds with these two cutouts. So we just insert that. Should be able to just press in, that locks, press in the bottom, and that locks there. And that's not going anywhere. You shouldn't be able to pull that out or anything. Nothing should move now. Basically, now to plug this in. So you've got a plug here with these 4 notches, and that corresponds with the 2 notches on the bulb. And basically all you have to do is just line it up with those. You should just slot in, and you'll feel it sort of push in. And then again, you just following the arrow clockwise, and it just locks in. And that should not come out at all. That should be on there. You shouldn't be able to pull that off whatsoever. If you can pull it off, it means it hasn't lined up, or you've got a cheap Chinese ballast, which in my case, I have replaced the ballast before with a aftermarket one, but the ballast didn't have the proper lock system in there where it lines up with the Xenon and you twist and lock. So if you're replacing the headlight ballast, I would avoid the aftermarket ones because they don't lock basically. So, but you know, they sort of work, but not ideal. So that's all done. Again, with this, just slot it in the 2 slots there, close, and then there we go, that's locked. Now moving on to the LED, similar process, in fact a lot simpler. So again, just unlock that, this door comes out. The shape of it, you can see it's sort of a D, so, but it goes on like that, so the highest part of the D, that's which way it goes. You can see by the notches they go in, and then this bit goes out, and that's what the latch goes over. Anyways, so you've got your high beam here, and you've got your daytime running light here. Really simple. All you have to do is twist it. Twist it anti-clockwise, and it just pulls out. Just as simply as that. Don't try and unplug it, because that's not the way it's supposed to go basically. It just simply twists and comes out, and then just pull this straight up and out. And then in with our fresh LED, simply just slots in like that. So when installing the daytime running lights, what you'll find is that these are slightly different sizes. So you've got 2 smaller ones here, 2 smaller notches here, and 2 bigger notches here. This looks to be the biggest notch, which corresponds with this notch here. So basically, you just line that up, and it should just push in, and then you simply twist, and it locks, and that's not coming out. And that is all done. That is installed. We put our door back on, remembering with the higher part of the D as I sort of call it. That goes on there, that clips in there. And that is our headlight and daytime running light replaced. Okay, so we've got to take out the old bulb. So again, undo this clip, undo that clip, and that should come out with the old. Now, as before, we just find those notches, which it appears to be just like that. Push this clip in here. Again, find the little notch, so looks like they are just across from each other. That's on, twist lock, and that is on. Right, so that is that done. So I can put this little door back on, And yeah, now that is a stiff. There we go. That's all closed up. Now to take this one off. And there we go. That's that door. Let's untwist that. That's our halogen out with the old. And in with our nice new LED. And that should just slot in there, just like that. Push that down, that doesn't go any further, so that must be in, and twist, and that is in. Right, where did I put that door? Just there. That just slots on. And there we go. All done. Now to put everything back together. So, back in with the airbox. That just slots in there. Attach the battery. Alright guys, so that is it. We've installed LED daytime running lights, and I personally think it is a well worth upgrade, and it just helps to bring the car a bit more up to date, modernize it a little bit, and improve its reliability that much more. Hopefully this has been somewhat informative and helpful with the demonstration over there. I feel like a bit of a teacher, but yeah, hopefully this was helpful. And if you want to see more, leave a like and subscribe to the channel.